Hello, everyone, to session 87 of Pokerole. We're getting along here. We have some new stuff on the table, but we'll address that in just a second. For starters, I want to do my usual intro, of course, so I will say that if you like the video, do think about giving it a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, think about doing that as well. But if you really want to help out, think about coming over to Twitch, because we're trying to reach a partner over here, but we need more viewers to do it. So if you want to come by, whether it's to lurk or to talk, think about doing so, because it really does make a difference, and we'd honestly love to have you. Also, we have a pretty cool Discord community. You can check that out at the link, and access the Pokerole Discord sub-community from there as well, if you want. And I have a coffee link if you want to help directly monetize my content. All links are in the description, so check them out at your leisure. And of course, if you want to check out our wiki for Pokerole, it is right here. Thank you very much for loading that, Dexplit. And you can check that out. Check out episode recaps if you need to catch up, or just check out all the other stuff that's there, because it's being worked on and being built up, and it's really cool. Also, it's just occurred to me I have the wrong VTuber. I will fix that now. How's everybody else doing amongst players today?
I'm feeling pretty good. Steam's having a sale on VR titles, so I picked up Fallout 4 VR, which is usually the full price of Fallout 4, which I wasn't going to pay full price for a game I already owned. And I picked up Skyrim VR for cheap.
Oh, very nice. Wait, they're selling these things separately for the normal versions?
Yes.
Cash grab.
Yes, they're built. They're like built to be VR.
Well, yeah, but aren't they a little really funky? It's Bethesda we're talking about.
Possibly. But I've actually never played Skyrim. Like, I've watched the Let's Plays of it. All my friends have played it, but I've actually never played through Skyrim.
Oh,
so
that's interesting then.
In VR will be in my first playthrough will be in VR. I'm going for a wizardy playthrough magic. And I'm the Khajiit race, or Khajiit, the furry race.
Khajiit.
Yeah.
Khajiit.
So, how are you doing, Kyrio?
I'm doing alright, a little tired, but also good.
I think...
You've heard of... Yeah, everyone's heard of You're a Wizard, Harry, but is Skyrim ready for You're a Harry Wizard?
I'm sure they are.
Also, welcome to Robert William, who is first time trying, as well as Lucarnali Drigneal. I have to try to think how to structure that name. But yes, there's an RP Pokemon. It's called Pokerole. It exists, and there's a PMD module for it, and we play it.
Yes. Also, unfortunately, the error I get is error creating token mesh. Index was out of range, must be non-negative and less than the size of the collection. So I can't see it for some reason. I'm sure it'll be fine later.
That is very weird. Is the rest of you able to see it? Are the rest of you able to see it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I is able to see it.
Okay, and I'm
this
not
is
going to
a
worry
weird.
about it.
I wonder why Car in particular has.
I bet it has something to do with some setting I have going.
Maybe. Oh, it might be something involving caching.
Oh, yeah, that would do it. That would be why.
That would
I'm
be
not
your
going to worry
problem.
about it.
You can fix it later. It's easy to fix.
Yes.
Change.
But yes, one of the fans who I paid for their work, even though they requested to be allowed to do this, because it's good work, and they deserve to be paid. If I could, I would pay everybody who does fan work, but I am not made of money. But yes, I cannot see the map on the token, but I know what the map looks like. It may be a bit different from Imaginations, and it may not necessarily be, 100% accurate, especially given the fact that I am bad at explaining map things. But they did a really good job, and I appreciate it. So, if things are a little off, remember how things in the Elden Ring map started off a little off?
Yeah.
The way I rationalize that and the way I rationalize this is that this is probably a map that was made by hand. In fact, they're all made by hand. So if there's discrepancies, yeah, that happens.
Yeah, it's an imperfect map.
It's imperfect, but I like it all the same.
Yeah. Well, like in story imperfect. I mean, I don't mean the artwork itself. It's really good.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really like
Yeah,
that.
this comes to mind yeah. You know what comes to mind? There exists very early sketches, like you can see where it's hand-drawn sketches of RuneScape's map. And a weird quirk of the mapping software at the time is that everything is inverted, like from the hand-drawn map. Because of a quirk of the mapping software at the time, everything got inverted and like flipped to the opposite side of where it is on the drawing.
I appreciate the extra work put into like making it, transparent on the edges, scuffed up a little bit. I like that.
There is another version that has a few more holes on the land masses themselves. I didn't link that one, mostly so you guys could have a clear picture of the land masses.
This is fair. Also, really comes into clear just how far we traveled to go to Mount Schiffer.
You guys have traveled quite a ways.
We haven't explored the whole continent, but we certainly hit both sides. Well, not edges per se. I guess there is some more continental areas.
Up and down
north,
the middle, almost.
Yeah.
And over to the right over here is something that was graciously done by a dear friend of mine. And they colored in and made layers of the Gallantry map. And they did something very clever that they showed me. The images have been placed on cards in layers. This is the top layer. The next to top layer.
Very cool.
So you have a better idea of how the floors of the Gallantry work. And this allows all the rooms to be viewable.
Nice. At the same time, which is hard to do otherwise.
But the sixth top layer with the purple around it is the rampart, effectively.
Okay. What's the little orange? The orange layer has a... Oh, I see. It goes the tunnel. Okay.
Yes.
Is this an entrance exit?
That is a balcony.
A balcony. Okay.
And I suppose I should do a brief recap of last time, because it was fairly brief. It was mostly combat and conversation. But last time, the team got a... Pardon me as I sneeze.
You're pardoned.
Goodness. Got an introduction to the interiors of the Gallantry. Somewhat. They got to go through the courtyard and go into the planning office, or war room, I believe I called it, and meet Sir Cheval. And finally engage in the Duel of Honor with Sir Cheval, Sir Ricade, and Calvin. There was also discussion had with Calvin by some of the team about their identity and how things currently are with Team Gallant. And the general vibe is, it's not perfect, but it's one of those things where they sort of sigh and are like, yeah, this is my life.
Yeah.
Not that they don't try to make them be better. And after the duel, which the team won, not necessarily easily, but the team won, in spite of Sir Cheval having some clash shenanigans going on, Sir Cheval declared that there would be a feast, even though Sir Ricade said they have limited supplies. So you all are going to be treated to a feast.
Nice.
Not that mistake, really.
I mean, yeah.
Food serves low. Just give Ralph a second.
It's not gonna be that bad.
Well, I have a bug with an infinite appetite, so yeah, there's that.
That's a good point. Meanwhile, Tucker is still seeking to pilfer something briefly at some point.
Ah, yes, the tapestry, one of the older ones.
Is Tucker going rogue?
a little bit rogue. It may seem out of character, but it'll make more sense later, I'm sure.
So, in the meantime, Sir Cheval is rushing off to the storage room. Also, I know the script is a little weird, but I decided on the script on the gallantry maps because I like the look of it. It is very mappy.
Oh yeah, I like it.
But it's room C on the first level is the storage room. So Sir Cheval is going in there and rummaging through things, and Surricate is going along with him, even though he's like, no, we should conserve supplies. But you know, he's a ghost. Why does he care? And meanwhile, Calvin offers if you all want to take a rest because you all have taken a bit of a beating.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could go for that.
Yeah. Riley's in the usual after fight state of 1 health.
My tendency is to end fights on a single point of HP is impressive at this point.
Yeah, it's really common actually.
Don't even need to use Endure.
Have you? You have though, like twice, right?
I've never used Endure.
You've never have? I could have sworn.
Never used Endure.
Never. He has it, but he's never used it.
Never used it.
He's had opportunities to use it, and he didn't.
Well,
It's more dramatic without it, I guess.
Its accuracy is will. And it's only will. And if I'm with like any amount of consecutive actions, it will fail.
Oh, and also you tend to focus your will towards like healing and stuff too.
Yes.
So
it doesn't cost a will. It just I roll the will to use Endure.
Right, but of
that's
course
still at max a dice pool of 6.
And you usually don't have it at max because you're usually doing healing.
I don't have it at max, and if I'm getting attacked like that, I probably already have taken some actions. Like if I've taken more than 3 actions, I just straight up can't use it at the best of times. So it's not that useful, to be honest with you.
Well, there's always the singular chance die. But bad things happen when you fail the chance die.
Well, considering that if I'm using Endure, I'm probably fucked anyway.
It's fair to say that Riley wouldn't think of defending with low health, and he would rather just try to go out with a bang. It does seem to be more his way of doing things.
I haven't even really done that. I did that one. It was one time.
I mean, it's like the mentality of some Pathfinder people where, quote-unquote, healing in battle is a waste of a turn. You should attack the thing so it can't attack anymore. It's like, yeah, there's merit to that, but also keeping people alive.
Well, I do that too.
True.
Well, yeah, you do. But it's just one of those philosophies that's like, yeah, I see your point, but also decrying any and all, like, in combat healing is silly.
Yeah.
Because there are people who do that. Anyway. Calvin, somewhat in an embarrassed manner, asks if they could have some help getting out of their barding, since apparently all the other Pokemon who can help them with that are currently occupied. And as they're saying that, they look over towards the storage room, and Sir Cheval is trying their best to drag a table out into the courtyard. And they continue occupied making sure the feast happens.
Well, I'll get them out of the saddle. I put them in the saddle, I'll get them out of the saddle.
That's appreciated. In which case, Calvin goes up to their room, which is marked F. It is on the green floor.
So I guess technically it's the 3rd floor.
Well, there's ground floor, 1st floor, 2nd floor, 3rd floor, 4th floor, and then the rampart line.
Alright, the ground floor, 1st floor thing. That always throws me off when buildies do that. I don't know, I consider the ground floor the 1st floor in my brain.
I also do that.
I mean,
Christ, no problem.
I mean, look, people have already equated the Mist Continent to the UK, so why not?
Good enough.
I mean, they're both fair systems of doing it.
Yeah. Ground floor, 1st floor is ingrained into my head because that's the system RuneScape uses. so all the guides are written like that, ground floor, then first floor.
Oh, that's fair.
I've
With how
read
prolific
about-
that game is, I'm sure a lot of people learned it that way for that game, actually.
Yep. So,
I've read about 80 guides that use it that way, so...
it should be noted, Riley, that prior to you leaving with Calvin, Suricade does briefly speak with you on perhaps seeing about training that, as he puts it, roughly tempered blade of yours.
I don't think I used that. How does he know I have that?
You used aura during the fight, didn't you?
Yeah, but I didn't use the sword.
True. But Suricade is also old, and may or may not have seen other people use aura to make really interesting things.
I wonder how old he is, actually.
Old.
500.
Old.
Oh, he's still
Just in the bio, age, old.
Well, I'm curious as to his offer.
I'm sorry I'm not doing voices right now, I will in a bit. But his reply is effectively excellent at a later time, and then just goes to keep Sir Cheval from squishing himself with the table.
Cool. Helpful, indeed. Alright, up I go.
Manages to take a beating from Team Cheer, killed by a table.
It's
Wait,
more
sorry, he's-
embarrassing than the guy who spent the entire fight wrapped in chains.
I mean, yeah.
He got chained up and just got comfy. It's fine.
Though if he's defeated by a table, it is kind of revenge. He did flip one after all last session.
Oh, that's true.
Almost like he's playing TTS or something.
I mean, he might as well have been. So, Calvin leads you back up to their room. Their barding and saddle are taken off. And they go and grab a medical kit. Or at the very least, a wooden box that keeps a certain amount of medical supplies in it.
Didn't I already heal their leg?
Yeah. They're still kind of minorly hurt.
Do I need to heal them again?
You... Well, okay, it's not that you don't have the will for it.
I healed them twice last time. How hurt are they?
Also, they're not the only ones scuffed up.
Okay, well, I can't heal myself.
You can't, which is mostly why Calvin drops it at your feet. Here. This should help. And they, almost as if they practice it, use one hoof to flick the latches and flick open the box. And there are Orin bandages in there, as well as some other very basic medical supplies.
Alright, I mean, I'll make use of this, I suppose. It's right here. May as well.
Excellent. Anyone taking advantage of the medical supplies can immediately heal 2 HP.
Nice.
Excellent.
I'm now half
Yeah,
dead.
I'll patch up my wounds.
Oh, that's fair. I wasn't sure if we actually followed everyone to Calvin's room. But if we
you
did
not want to follow Calvin to their room, that's totally okay.
Well, Tucker is responsive, so if the rest of the group is staying together, he'll probably stay together too.
Hoff and Laddie end up sitting in the medical box. They are half covered in bandage.
Well, it's a good look for them, actually. That's cute.
Draws upon them. Thank you, I'm proud of that.
That was actually pretty good. In any case, Calvin sort of settles in for the moment while you bandage yourselves. So, what are you going to do now? You're not exactly honor-bound to stay here very much longer.
Honestly, I think we're going to accept the face because I'm pretty sure if we didn't, Ralph would cause a hissy fit on the way back and then leave.
I wouldn't call it that much of a fit. I mean, sure, I'd be hungry and grumpy, but I'm always hungry, so I would just
And
be
grumpy.
I'm not always grumpy. You're always grumpy.
I have a very good reason to be grumpy.
Yeah.
We'll follow them into this room.
But, yeah, I do have something in mind.
What did you say, Kyrio?
Did we all follow them into this room?
I was asking
assume
if you
so.
did.
Yeah, if you did
Yeah.
not follow Calvin, that's fine. You can just tell me where you want to go.
Yeah, I did because soft place to sit down.
It's true. There's dried savanna grass to sit on.
Very nice.
What is Brooke doing then?
The world may never know.
Okay.
Oh, that's okay. Something Kyrio is not used to responding to us with voice. This is fine.
I am not.
Yeah, it's fine.
I think it's more just that you sound kind of tired today, so. Understandable,
okay.
regardless.
You know, I don't remember if in character Ralph has brought it up to Brooke that he wants to evolve.
Yes, it has.
Oh, he has?
That conversation did happen, I
Then
think.
I have.
Okay.
Yeah, it was way back inside Mount Shiver, though, I think. Yeah.
Right, it was a while ago.
Down upon the swollen river, or atop Mount Shiver,
In any case,
far, far away. Right.
while you all are patching up and recuperating in Calvin's room, you can hear Sir Cheval and Sir Arcade sort of banging about down in the courtyard trying to get everything set up.
I hope
Yeah.
hope they do okay, considering their main method of like traction or pushing is pointy bits, basically.
Sir Arcade has a shield.
True,
He
that's
can
good for
scoop,
that's good for pushing.
and he has hands. Also, Uno is around. Not that you all have really seen them much.
Oh yeah, they're kind of hanging around.
So,
I did.
so Calvin, did you be feel weird to ask him, but do you know, like, the sheath, is it, like, part of their body, like if they set the sheath down and I touch it, would they feel it, or what's the deal with that?
Before you answer, what were you going to say, Eragon?
Didn't I try and recruit them?
Yeah, you did.
Did I succeed?
No.
No.
You tried.
They were politely declined, if I recall.
Yeah, you tried, they declined, and I think Sir Cheval or Sir Arcade said something about it.
Also, I'm gonna
And-
name
oh-
these because I keep mixing up. Which one's Cheval? Which one's Arcade? I keep mixing them up.
Arcade is the Aegislash.
Okay,
Cheval is the team leader. He's the
Thank you.
Escavalier.
I keep mixing them up for some reason. I'm going to
Sir Cheval has a name derivative
There we go.
of Chevalier, which I believe is French for rider.
There, I'll make it a lot easier to remember.
Also, Brooke said a thing, so I will address that, and then I will address Ralph's question. Brooke probably wanting to Calvin will answer. Our mission's over. We're probably going to head back to Savantown after this, but we do have some business in Sea Spring shortly after. I don't exactly know if it's part of their body in the same way as the rest. I haven't asked. And that's quite a ways. Unfortunately, they're probably only going to give me leave to go all the way to Savantown. So I won't be able to speed you along to Sea Spray quickly, but hopefully I can ease your trip a bit. I mean, it's the least I can do, considering they just sort of motion with their neck in just a general everywhere motion.
Well, the chat is actually curious if Riley was successful. And there's a bit of description there. This might need to be reevaluated.
No. Dose would not have joined. But they would have been permitted to go along.
You mean Calvin, right?
Yes. Calvin's permitted to go along, but Uno would not have joined the team so much as be permitted to perform duties as an outrider or a knight errant for the team.
Oh, Uno was given that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, well, they don't really want to leave Team Gallant, but the experience, I believe, was explained as being a good one for them. It would basically a similar...
It's an internship.
Yeah. A similar thing to Zeal, effectively. Except
Okay.
Zeal actually joined your team.
It's occurred to me that just giving models names is actually helpful for everybody, so I'm just doing that now.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Brilliant.
Fair that. I think I was a little mixed up who was joining, who was hanging out. And I think the chat
That's
was
fair.
too.
That's fair. These are all named NPCs. It's not like it's just, oh yeah, this is Pyro number 236.
So, I think Riley invited Calvin. Calvin said no, but Uno said he could maybe hang out as his... though there was a conversation convincing Sir Cheval of the idea of having an emissary, right? I think there was a conversation about that.
There was.
Yeah, and Uno is going to be that emissary.
What were you going to say, Tubby?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Pyro 356 is cute and all, but he's no Pyro 422.
Burke laughs. It's no trouble, really. We probably won't be leaving immediately for Sea Spray, and when we leave, we can introduce you to Bangoro, and he'll likely have things for you to do if you get bored. If I can stay that long, sure. Calvin seems a bit uncertain. And it seems to be less an anxiety over, whether they would get in trouble to do that, and more so it's like, I'm not sure I can leave these Pokemon alone.
Mm-mm. To their own devices. Ralph in a little bit of deep thought.
Yeah, I think I actually was completely wrong last... I think I actually misinterpreted a lot from last session, or at least the ending of it. It's because Calvin was going to give us a ride. I assumed they were the emissary, not Uno. So I mixed that up, actually, last session. That's why I was writing things in my brain today.
It is possible I'm mildly misremembering things, but regardless,
Uno makes sense for emissary too, because he was curious, and he also doesn't seem like he really fits in right now with the rest of the knights too well. So having him as emissary kind of makes sense.
regardless, both Uno and Calvin will be going anyway.
Fair. Just that Calvin will be returning and Uno will be hanging out.
It's possible that neither will end up hanging out. Just because they're emissary doesn't mean they're going to stick around the town.
Fair. Emissary means many things, so...
Indeed.
In any case, once you all are finished recuperating, or at least partially finished, Uno will knock with their scabbard on the frame of one of the doorways to Calvin's room. The food is ready for you, the esteemed guests of Team Gallant. Please come down at your leisure.
Ooh,
and they begin floating.
Steamed. I like that. Hear that? Where it's steamed.
Don't let it go to your head, Ralph.
I hope they have steamed clams.
Calvin rolls their eyes as they get up. Where the heck would we get the shelter?
Tucker pipes up. Ralph, I hope it's not seafood. We can get plenty of that in sea spray anyways.
You know what? Next time I'm in Sea Spray, I'll have to pick up some steamed clams. Steamed clams.
I'm leaving. I am leaving this conversation. I'm shutting the door behind me.
There are no doors in this room.
At least it's not steamed hams.
It's fine. It's fine. You can walk ahead of Calvin. Calvin can be the barrier.
Cool. Taking my 2 beans with me, and we're going downstairs.
Tucker will take his beans and go downstairs too.
I shall waddle along and follow you guys.
Worried about your family here? Brooke asks. We won't keep you longer than you'd like, of course. Seems like this place is pretty isolated from other places, though. Well, that's sort of by design. As far as I can tell, this used to be some sort of old outpost or way station. It was probably a whole lot bigger, you know, when the tree was alive. But whoever was here before, they probably kept the peace. And if they didn't, then... well, I don't know. It's entirely possible this was a staging point for some sort of large-scale conflict.
Yeah, but if only one had the power to observe a place as it was 100 years ago or 1,000 years ago. Oh, the stories you could see.
Your aspect does not grant you history sight.
No, it doesn't. And I wasn't hinting towards that. He was just musing it.
I am teasing.
Yeah. I've actually mused that IRL before, like, looked at an oldest building and, like, what if I could look at that, but 100 years ago?
Looks the same, but 100 years less old.
Yeah.
It's probably cleaner.
Probably.
Probably. Maybe Pangoro would know more about that. He was a knight once, Brooke says. I should note that these knights vaguely know about Pangoro, I believe, but they were not directly involved in anything in with Team Pioneer. Or at the very least, if any of them was, it was probably Surricade, and he's not saying anything. In any case, the sun is starting to dip lower in the sky as you are led down by Calvin and Uno to a series of 3 tables that have been pushed together long ways that are covered in various foodstuffs. It looks like most of it is bread, hardtack, rations. There is some meat that is being currently roasted with a hastily put together fire on a spit. And other than that, a majority of it is berries and greenery, likely obtained from the wilderness. There's also that gross squidgy gourd thing that Ralph ate ages ago that is on one end of the table. I remember.
I don't. I forgot that one. Was it bad?
I just remember that he bit into it and it was kind of slimy, and that he ended up taking it from a, not a Zebstrika, but a Blitzel in the wild.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, it was a noodle fruit.
That was a long time ago.
Right, I called it
Yeah.
noodle fruit because it's supposed to be an analog for spaghetti squash.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, IRL, I like to call spaghetti squash noodle fruit.
Welcome, esteemed guests! Take seats wherever you please, and let the feasting begin!
Yes, please.
Sir Cheval, have you tended to your wounds yet? Not at all! And he seems absolutely proud of that fact.
That doesn't seem sanitary.
I will be absolutely fine. I am the toughest knight of valor there is!
I'm gonna go over and heal him.
I am sure that there will be many willing to debate that, Sir Cheval. But seeing as there are none
Heal.
here... Go ahead and expend the will point as you heal him, and just like the scuffs and marks and all that start to fade.
Does he even notice,
Yeah.
really? In the middle of his conversation?
No, he's too busy.
It's the most irresponsible group that includes us.
Yeah, not last. Yeah, let's go.
Tucker
I am a
opens
knight
his...
of valor. Irresponsibility is my middle name. I believe you are referring to recklessness, Sir Cheval. Irresponsibility would be most irresponsible for a knight to have as their middle name. And just the debate goes back and forth.
It's also
Okay,
kind of a
if
long
I
middle
had
name.
Guys, what would my middle name be if I had a middle name that reflected my personality?
Chuckles, Calvin says, as they just stand on one side of the table.
When he hears Riley's mutter, Tucker opens his mouth to respond to the irresponsible mentions and then just says nothing. Also, Tucker does say in this conversation between Ricade and Cheval, also, responsibility is kind of a long middle name. Irresponsibility.
Irresponsibility.
Wait,
Middle
that's a
name
good
implies a
point.
last name. It does.
That's a good point, actually.
It's just night.
I
No.
remember my last name. You guys don't have the much memory, but I remember my last name is Wilson.
Gesundheit.
Really? You have an actual last name? Fascinating. I just know that nomenclature as something from history. Generally speaking, the Pokemon do not have more than a single name. If that. Though that is something that is becoming more and more common in the Mist Continent. Though oft names are saved for squires, you could say. But it is not uncommon for the common Pokemon of the continent to bear names themselves. We have no restriction on it, even if those who are more traditional even than I would prefer it not so.
Times are changing, I guess.
Also, to piggyback off the joke, I apologize. No, his first name is Sir, his last name is Cheval, so Sir Irresponsibility Cheval.
That's pretty great.
Go on.
If I was a knight, I would like change my name to something like T-Fi or T-Vacation or like Conference.
Oh,
That way.
God.
I feel your pain.
Groaning. None of the like actual knights at the table
God.
understand.
Imagine if a circle were a knight, he would just be a circle.
What's a circle?
He would just be.
Tucker is
Wait,
just like, what?
Isn't circle a Pokemon?
No,
Am I crazy?
Oh.
That's
No.
circles are something else.
Oh, I'm thinking of like the
Cheese
VR
wedge.
chat model. Ash.
Anyway, I'm gonna set loose my 2 beans on this food and we'll see what happens.
They begin to consume. Yeah,
I don't like him eat it all. I'm going to begin to consume now. I'm gonna eat the noodle fruit.
You done talking? Okay, you can eat now. Tucker will also begin to consume. There were meats, you said, right?
Yes, that is being roasted on a spit. It is being occasionally turned by Sir Ricade, who, you all will notice, Sir Ricade and Uno are not exactly eating at all.
Fair.
They're ghosts. They're also swords.
Well, Tucker says a few word of gratitude to them since they are helping, even though they are not eating themselves.
Rather we'll eat some fruit.
Oh, Parker's right. You're probably thinking of Wingle.
Yeah, that could be it.
I assume Riley keeps away from the meat.
Oh yeah.
Tucker does that. I don't know if the spit roast is quite done, but Tucker does that dog hovering thing when like something's being prepared.
Just sitting on your haunches watching it turn.
Yes. Possibly
Scrolling through the
drooling.
list of Pokemon for a Pokemon to validate my joke.
There.
It's okay. Let it go.
Though at some point, Sir Cheval begins boasting about how this is a paltry meal compared to the large feasts of their homeland, and how the celebrations are extremely grand, and he goes off on this long tangent that I'm not going to go into his voice or detail about because I don't want to kill your souls.
Sounds like it's worth a visit. What do you think, guys? I think it sounds like a horse of it.
Like a what?
Sounds like it's worth a visit. We see the continent, we see the great stone buildings.
Oh.
We get to talk to all the named Pokemon. Oh man, it's dirty. As like I'm eating with both hands. We get to visit some of the grand feasts. If they're even grander than this, then that must be so great.
I will do Burke's thing in a second. I should mention, Riley, that Laddie and Poff have begun just creating cleared circles on the table as they slowly consume food outward from their initial positions.
This is fine.
Nice.
Just little num 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 num. What brings the knight to this continent, anyway? Are you on a mission? Burke asks. Well, Calvin starts, immediately interrupted by Sir Cheval, as they just bang one of their lances on the table. Indeed we are, fair pioneer. We are on a mission to keep the peace and order in this land. And it is our duty as knights to see that goodly deeds are done and wickedness be punished with justice. And, as a knight of valor, it is my duty to rush headlong and be the first to perform these acts, leading the way for my fellows by example. He's not entirely wrong, Sir Ricade states from the sidelines. Though to be fair, the Night Lord of Valor sent us on this mission. This continent, being Lady Calliope's home, also lent us credence to come here before others. To wit, we have a guide amongst our number, though she seems reluctant to travel the nearby plains. Calvin tries not to sigh too hard.
I see. Yeah. Say, do knights take part in merriment with, perhaps wine? You guys got wine?
Oh,
Meh.
they mentioned, was it generically mentioned they are here to basically stop evil?
Effectively.
Okay. Tucker does pipe up about that after clearly thinking for a second. Are there any particular evildoers you guys are going after?
Well, and Sir Cheval gets interrupted by Calvin this time.
Oh.
We were originally after a pack that call themselves the Shadow Scavengers. Unfortunately, they operate too far south for us. Isn't that right, Sir Cheval? Indeed. The territory is not ours to lay claim and patrol to. The pride of Pyroar that call this place their home have been gracious enough to allow us to live within the gallantry and make it our own fortress. We would be remiss to impose upon such a gracious lord.
Yeah, Ralph nods. Yeah, I can see that. They wouldn't take too kindly to... Two forces can't rule a land, the same land.
Tucker's ears fold when this when the Shadow Scavengers are brought up. It's fairly obvious he's aware of them.
Indeed. However, there are no specific forces besides them. Oh, sorry. I'll do Brooks first.
Okay.
I see, Brooks says. We've run into them. I certainly hope we don't see them again anytime soon. On that we can agree. They have rarely ventured further north. It seems there is something in the southern ends of these lands that they prefer, or seek. Regardless, we are not necessarily after any particular wicked groups, as you may put it. Rather, this is a test of our skills and our ability to help keep the peace and bring order and justice to a land that is, by the estimations of the other continents, chaotic, wild, untamed, burgeoning with wilderness.
Much of new frontiers still to conquer.
You could say that. Indeed, my hungry friend. However, and he just skewers a few berries on a lance and just consumes all of them in one quick swipe.
Very nice.
We are not here as conquerors. Such is an act of tyranny, to which knights may not abide. And, after all, there are already lords in this land, which we must obey the rulership of, or at the very least, be able to commit respect and mutual assurance to.
He nods. Yes, and part of that would be not doing stuff in their territory without, getting the thumbs up, or the paws up, so to speak.
As you all continue to speak, Suricate and Uno move the roasted meat hawk onto a platter. And yes, they have ceramic plates.
Nice.
And they have...
Very nice.
It's not silverware, but they have utensils.
I'm actually going to wonder if they were carving it themselves.
I mean, they might. You don't know. They might be whittling it.
That'd be hilarious. Reach over, grab Uno, cut the turkey, and set him back to see it.
Yeah.
No.
Lord Zeal is almost too patient with us, I think, sometimes, Calvin says with a nervous chuckle.
Tucker pipes up and mentions, well, you guys can be a bit, intense, but it does sound like you respect the environment and those that live in it, which I think is good.
We attempt to. Though at the very least I am aware, and Sir Ricade side-eyes Sir Cheval, who appears to not be listening, that perhaps there are times when the bombast of the Knights of Valor goes a bit far.
Mm-hmm.
You're not the only one. Still,
Yeah.
do not mark all knights by our measure. There are many of us. Charity, tradition, humility, justice. It goes on. The Knights of Valor are but one faction.
Tucker thinks for a second. It'd be neat to meet more of you. I'm kind of interested in some of this.
The Knights of Valor.
Then to the Mist Continent you should go! I would love to be your guide for such an expedition, but alas, duty calls us here.
We got the Knights of Valor. That's just one faction. I imagine the other two factions are the Knights of Instinct and the Knights of Mystic.
No.
Yeah.
Tucker notably does really listen to all of this. He does seem to really digest the values that they speak and seems to really appreciate them.
Ha, post-game. Not at this rate.
Yes, post-game. Session number 635.
One day.
Well, Tucker gets pretty distracted as the spit roast is done and properly plated. He goes right for that. He seems completely focused on the meat today. Seems like he's really hungry, actually.
You would be surprised to find that Calvin partakes of the meat hock.
Oh.
Ooh, nice. That's really cool.
Not a lot, just a little.
Yeah, Ralph definitely indulges in some meat hock. Any chance that, any time where he's, sat down and said, yes, you may eat, as much as you want, he's gonna take that. Oh, man. I can only imagine how hungry the poor guy must be after such a trip and eating pretty sparingly throughout it. We've been, on rations mostly the whole way up and the whole way down.
Yeah, Tucker definitely shows his ravenous. In fact, let's see, what was the last time we had meat, actually? Because specifically,
we've hunted.
We did hunt some, so we had some recently, but I imagine it was kind of scant portions to share.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there was the
we
fish.
Had the fish way back in the ice.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of a while ago still, but yeah.
Cincino would not let you have it all.
This is probably far more of a feast than whatever that last hunt got us.
Yes.
You guys got some wine to wash this down with? Do you guys make wine, or is that against the knightly code?
Unfortunately, we do not have such beverages at our disposal. What are you talking about, Weaklet? We do not have such beverages at our disposal, Sir Cheval. And Zuricade tries to gesture towards specifically Tucker, Brooke, Riley, and Una.
Tucker slightly cocks his head, not fully understanding.
Yes, unfortunately, we are most out of such beverages. I apologize.
Ralph nods. Yes, unfortunately. He understands, he nods.
Una looks confused. Also, you still haven't seen the Honedge or Aegis/E.
This is fair. They consume in some other fashion, I assume.
I see Ralph will directly ask, yeah, aren't you guys hungry?
Oh, well, we kind of don't need to eat the same way the rest of you do. You all eating is enough for us.
Dokie dokie. It's good because I can. That's how you're able to give us such big portions, and I'm super thankful. Like, you guys have no idea. So I guess the stack of plates beside me is a good indicator of how much I appreciate it.
Riley.
That's me.
Is there discomfort with this whole big spit roast situation with the meat and stuff? I'm kind of curious.
Oh, that's a very good question. I should roll my will.
Because I'm sure it's if it's a traditional like medieval display, it's quite the quite the show, quite the.
Oh no! It is not. It's not like a pig on a stick.
Oh, okay. It's a little more classy than that.
It is not nearly that much meat.
Right.
When I say like a meat hawk, I mean like a leg of meat at most.
Okay. Still, yeah. All right.
I thought I was imagining like an entire a hawk, like you could still see its mouth open and like its feathers and blood.
Do you know what? Oh no! It's hawk as in HOCK. HOCK.
Y'all are monsters.
I am not a monster. So I do eat fish that are still shaped like fish, like with the tail.
To be fair, you all are monsters. You're pocket monsters.
Yes, we are.
Like Ralph fits in a pocket.
I'd fit in a bigger pocket at the moment. Now, when I evolve, I won't fit in a pocket.
But yes, you can go ahead and roll will if you haven't already.
Me and my 2 will are gonna have problems.
Uh-oh.
I don't think I have much of an appetite.
Yeah. Your body is hungry, but the mind is unwilling.
The mind is weak.
Mm-hmm.
The voice inside your head is mildly grumpy at this.
Alright, he can take over and eat. I'll duck out, and the knights can deal with whatever the fuck happens after that.
He's fine. He's fine with this. He's not even going to say anything. He just eats.
Fair.
He does not look happy.
Did we notice the switch where we can say hi to him?
Increased grumpiness.
There is increased grumpiness. Riley's eyes are currently red. Wait, is that different from normal? Yes, it is.
They're orange normally.
Yeah.
His eyes are currently red, and there's just an increased grumpiness and an amount of squinting.
I'll wave hi to him. Oh, hey, hi. Do you join us?
Squints harder at Ralph. Avoids conversation.
He likes
He
me.
comes out grumpily, and Ralph's like, "Time for conversation."
How's it going? Like, Vegeta comes out. Krillin's like, "Oh, hi, Vegeta." Vegeta. Basically.
Is anybody else gonna say anything on the matter? Or are we good with letting him do his thing?
Tucker lets him do his thing. He probably does know the switch,
I got it.
but gets it at this point.
I gotta engage with him, at least say hi, so he's, feels like part of the team. It's important. Make everyone feel included.
Brooke glances but doesn't acknowledge more than a knowing look. Which is fine.
We have some knights are not very perceptive.
Either that or they're too busy in their own thing, so...
That still means they're not very perceptive.
Tucker probably busies them to with the slicing of the haka meat because he can't exactly do that himself.
Let's see. So this feasting goes on, and it begins to get dark. To which, Suricade offers to allow you all to stay the night in the gallantry if you would prefer. Certainly a lot more shelter and comfort than being on the road.
Tucker is quick to react to that and say, I think that's a pretty good idea. We've had a lot of nights out, and it'd be nice to actually rest somewhere covered for once. Go right ahead, Riley. /Eragon.
I see no downside to this. This is out of character, because in character, I'm not talking.
Fair enough.
At some point, Tyver finishes eating enough for you to be full and swaps places. He doesn't mind leaving you uncomfortable.
Oh god. Okay, I'm gonna just enter food coma mode, I guess. That's fine.
We've been away from home for a long time, but with Calvin's help, we should make good time tomorrow, Burke says with a nod.
So they were spooked. Ugh.
Ralph is taking a phone call, so...
Oh, that's fine.
I was wondering about that.
Oh, guess what I found 2 minutes after I got there?
Yeah?
In any case.
Wish she knew what a mute button was.
Kind of
That's okay,
scary, huh?
I'll manage it. There.
I think I can just mute him.
I personally muted for a little bit.
It's okay.
It's fine, it's not a big deal.
Yeah, it is fine. In any case, eventually the feast is concluded and the table is cleared of food, and there we go.
In the direction of where I'm supposed to be sleeping.
Well, since there is space in 2 rooms currently, Calvin offers theirs, and Suricade suggests that since Dose is still away, you could also room with Uno for the moment. And at the mention of Dose still being away, Uno fidgets a bit and excuses themselves.
Uno
and
killed
they...
Dose.
Hmm?
Uno killed Dose.
No,
Aw.
but they do head up to the first floor and head to room H, which will let them go up to the rampart.
Well, I'm gonna go bunk with Uno, because I feel like I'll bother them less than some other people in this group.
What about the rest? Let's see. I think Tucker would probably hang out with Calvin.
The only reason Suricade does not offer his room is because it's small and he doesn't want to share.
Understandable. Have a nice day.
Actually, trying to see how many rooms there are in this place besides.
A lot. Burke will bunk with Calvin if the offer is open. It is open. I believe it's A through J. J being the balcony. A is the courtyard. B is the war room. C is storage. D is Sir Ricade's room. E marks a tunnel. Effectively, it's a space that normally you wouldn't see with the full map, but it is marked on the pink layer. F is Calvin's room. G is Dos and Uno's room. H is the room that connects the first floor and the rampart. I is Sir Cheval's room, and his room, of course, is not being offered. It's the only one that has a closet.
That is fair.
All right.
Though, let's see. Also, just in case, just let me know when I can unmute Tubby, because I left him muted.
I believe Tubby is muted themselves.
Oh, okay. Well, that works too. I guess.
Yeah, Tubby, don't be afraid to let us know via text what you're doing.
Okay, I'll just unmute him on my end, since I also locally muted. Alright, there we go.
For the context,
Hello.
I was away for a bit, my bad.
It's okay, just remember to
okay.
mute next time if you can.
No.
But yeah, just to let you know, Tubby, that people are choosing where to bunk. They can either bunk with Uno, and Riley seems to be choosing to bunk with Uno, or you can bunk with Calvin.
I think we'll bunk with Calvin.
Huh? What?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Also, beers behave. It's not my fault I write some of my most interesting characters to be electric types, okay?
Though Brooke does gravitate towards them, it's fair.
Right. Why? Because they're dangerous?
Your electric types have... because they have magnetic personalities.
Heh.
Thank you.
I mean, you say that, but Riley's got metal on his bones, and he's not been attracted to one.
Yes, I ended up
I
with
wonder if the
Island
magnet... I wonder if they are next time I'm next to him, I'm gonna have to see if the magnet sticks to him.
Spoilers, it will not. He's not like a steel type yet.
He's not made of metal, my friend.
I mean, the spikes.
They're not spikes yet.
Floofy.
Yeah.
Oh wait, what
Anyway.
did we talk about? Oh, I thought we were talking about something else. Never mind.
Riley, you bunk with Uno.
That is correct.
Uno is fidgety as they sort of get ready to settle down for the night. They're constantly sort of going in and out of the room, possibly to go check on something and coming back. Though they have mostly left themselves in their scabbard.
Alright, parties. That's it. Below
Interesting.
the
Which room is Uno's again? What number or letter?
Uno and Dos share room G,
Okay, that's going to be interesting.
which is on the second floor.
Right.
just
So
always
it's
said
not
to
it's
see
not
where-
it's not terribly far from Calvin's room then.
It's not. They're both
Okay.
on the same floor.
All right.
If you aura sense to see where they go, also you can tell that Sir Cheval and Sir Ricade are actually cleaning up from the feast. They might be bombastic and kind of a bit much to be around, but at least they know how to handle
You know how to
things.
clean.
Yeah, they know how to deal with a party. Surprise, surprise. But you can tell that Uno is frequently going up to the 4th floor. They're traveling down to the 1st floor to do it, but that's because it's the fastest way.
Oh, okay.
Right. When they get back to next time, I'm just gonna ask, so what's up there?
Up where?
On the 4th floor where you've been going. It's like the 3rd time you've gone up there.
How can you tell? You haven't been following me, have you?
No, but I it's gonna one of Zord angles.
Oh, right. That's weird to have happen to me when you're not a psychic. I'm worried about my sister.
Your sister.
Dose. Usually they're back by now.
Where'd they go?
Well, they kind of went out hunting?
I mean, like, which direction did they go?
I'm not sure. It's been a while, but usually they're back by now. They don't tend to take very long.
How long has it been?
Almost all day. It'll be fine. Sir Arcade and Sir Cheval have confidence in her. I'm sure it'll be okay.
Does she commonly get lost?
No. If they could shuffle, they would do so very awkwardly. I tend to get lost.
Is that why we found you so far south last time?
Yes. They sound like this dejected child that's gotten caught doing something they're not supposed to.
Alright. Walk me to where you've been looking for her then. I'll see what I can see.
This is a busier night than I expected.
Indeed.
Which...
Also, Sir Arcade may not seem too terribly bombastic, but they can be. They're just tempered because of age.
You can see the kooky old man in them.
They are the wizened mentor of this team, effectively.
Yeah.
But
a little bit of kookiness, like the wizard from Sword in the Stone. Just.
Yeah, Merlin. Yeah, I can see that.
A little bit. Not quite so eccentric, but.
Yep.
How are things in Calvin's room? It sounds like people are staying up a bit late here and there, but what about what's going on in Calvin's room?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Uno does show Riley up to the rampart. The only reason that's got a separate card is because it's the rampart wall is highlighted in purple. He's taking you to the 4th floor. And basically ends up just taking Riley on a circuit around and, brings him back.
What can I sense with Aura?
You don't sense anything out of the ordinary. In if you're particularly looking for, a ghost aura or anything, you
I've met
don't...
ghosts before.
You have. You don't feel it. Then again, you're trying to stretch out your aura over a long distance if you can, so... Sort of thins things out a little.
So the pair, basically, Uno's been going to the ramparts just to look out and see if Dose is going to be back.
Uno is basically going on a very roundabout pacing circuit.
Do you have anything that belongs to her? I was able to track down Zeal once using that, so I might be able to do the same thing for her.
I guess, but we really shouldn't leave this late. There's too much danger out there.
You don't necessarily have to leave this late. You know which direction she is.
I mean, that's true. Come on, let's go back to my room. I'll see if she left something behind. We don't exactly have a whole lot with us. I mean, they sort of rattle in their scabbard a bit. We are swords. Self-aware.
Just make things easy to move.
Heh, yeah. Makes us excellent as Outrider Knights, at least. Or I hope so. In Calvin's room, however, Calvin just sort of settles in on their bedding and basically allows anyone who wants to settle in next to them.
Aw.
Yeah.
A comfy spot.
When I settle in, yeah, definitely gonna.
They are not,
settle next
however.
to them.
They are not, however, a very touchy, cuddly sort of Pokemon. So if any of you try to like lean against them or snuggle up to them, they shuffle awkwardly and make a little space.
Yeah. Well, Ralph's taken. Ralph cuddles exclusively with Mawile now, but Ralph will be in deep thought about something as he's kind of laying on his hands, thinking. And he looks over to Tucker, also thinking. And then he looks back at the ceiling and kind of, like... I don't know how to describe the look of this decision and then going to sleep.
Tucker, notably, he doesn't rest in the bedding. He actually kind of curls up next to, kind of near the doorway. And he does notice what Ralph is doing. He actually seems, though he curls up rather quickly, he's kind of like looking around and his ears are moving about. He's kind of alert, actually. But
Yeah,
he doesn't say anything if Ralph doesn't.
Yeah, no, Ralph's definitely not trying to stay awake much longer. He's definitely drifting into a nice sleep.
And Burke takes a spot by a wall. Being too close to electric types makes him antsy.
I want to be around you, so I'll go to your room. However, I don't want to be around you.
It's the contradiction of interesting electric types.
It is totally worth noting, though. Again, if anybody's actually paying attention, it's clear that Tucker, though he curled up rather quickly, he's not closing his eyes, actually. He's twitching his ears, he's listening, he's considering, and waiting, clearly.
Gonna do some mischief.
Mischief. Okay.
So
there's a reason I said interesting, other people are up.
Yeah. Some non-Ralph shenanigans. A rare delicacy.
Tucker will simply wait unless somebody confronts him. He will simply wait till the room is asleep.
Yeah, no plans to confront for Ralph. Only plans to sleep and enjoy a stuffed belly sleep.
Okay. When you decide to go out, give me a Dex Survival Stealth.
Okay. Though I will define going out is he's going to simply try to pick up his bag, put it on, and step outside the doorway into the hall. That is all he's doing for the moment. So, Dex Survival Stealth?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm having you roll for a very specific reason.
Gotcha.
They're okay, so outside.
Well, that is the thing. He's paying attention mostly to the room he's in. Okay, kind of very middling.
Sir Ricade is at his room at this point. That's on the first floor.
Mm-hmm.
He is snoring. It is metallic.
Metallic snoring.
But the reason I asked...
How's that work?
He vibrates in his scabbard.
Of course, of course.
Makes sense. Rattle, rattle, snore.
In any case, Riley. Insight survival alert, please. As sorry, I keep trying to call Uno Dose. Gosh darn it. As Uno leads you out, so you can perform aura psychometry on one of Dose's whetstones.
Tied.
You head out of the room, and you notice Tucker leaving the other room.
Are you going for a walk, Tucker? Why do you have your stuff with you?
Tucker looks a little surprised that Riley is also leaving his respective room. Nowhere too far. Just is Uno with Riley?
Yes.
Oh, that definitely makes him stutter then. Tucker says, just need the restroom. See, it's clear that that's not an actual honest answer as to whether Uno knows is anybody's guess.
I mean, you can always do cool contest perform.
All right, this
you
shall be
actually have a lot of.
I feel like nothing can be pulled over Riley, but all right, let's do.
Like if you want,
Tucker
if you
will
feel like
attempt.
Riley would.
Though more for the sake of Uno than Riley. He kind of gives Riley a shush look. Okay.
You say this. Since Riley has absolutely nothing in contest or any of its skills, I'm going to let Riley use Insight Instinct.
Oh god, it's only 7 dice.
Yeah, but also, you've seen your teammates on shenanigans before.
Apparently not. I've got shit to do.
To be fair, you know Tucker to be mostly honest.
If it was Ralph, I would assume he was up to something.
I think if it was Ralph, you would pursue this more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I believe you.
Dose just peers out from behind of Riley, who I assume currently has a hat of Latian Poff.
Yep.
Oh, we don't exactly have, a designated restroom. There is a hole that we dug out by one of the roots, mostly for Sir Cheval and his steed. As you note for a second that Uno grapples between calling Calvin Calliope or Calvin and just settles on not using a name at all.
Understandable.
As Tucker here, Tucker kind of almost interrupts the last little bit and just goes, "Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that'll do. Have a good night." And then he kind of just turns and goes the opposite direction down the tunnel hallway
The
place.
stairs the other way, Tucker.
Oh. He just turns right around with a little stammer and goes past you guys.
I don't even know if that's the way they are. I'm just fucking with you.
He's just gonna listen and immediately turn around.
There's a ramp on both sides. It doesn't matter. Goodness.
Anyway, well, let's head back up, I suppose.
My team
is full of trolls.
He does, however, before going, Tucker will go down the ramp while they're obviously going not down the ramp, so that's kind of a relief for him.
Well,
actually.
the thing is, Uno leads Riley down the ramp
Following
on the
you.
left side.
Oh no, that's
following
right.
you, heading towards room H, which is basically the quote-unquote stairwell up to the 4th floor, because it's the closest and fastest way to the 4th floor. So for a hot minute, it seems like they're following you.
Very awkward. When they get to the 1st floor, before Tucker fully goes down the 1st floor ramp, he massively slows down, actually, while acting like it's not a big deal, and he's still kind of going towards where he needs to go. But he actually is waiting to see where they're going first.
They do eventually turn off into the room so they can head up the ramp.
You vaguely hear a sigh of relief.
Pretty sure I do hear that.
Go ahead and roll for Dex Survival Stealth again.
Okay.
You're gonna run into Riley again.
Well, see, here's the thing. You may have noticed that on the top floor, a lot of the lower floors are visible.
Oh, on the top floor. Oh, that's a good point, actually. A 4. That's better.
Okay.
I didn't realize that that's... Oh, so they were they're more open floors. Gotcha.
Yes, they are open. It's not totally enclosed. The way it works is there's some overhangs. Like, the inner portions of them are usually open. Which is why, like, the tunnel on the first floor is sort of, like, unique in its own manner.
Okay.
Riley.
Yeah.
I believe for Aura we did Insight Survival Instinct, was it?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Perform your psychometry. Decent enough. You focus on the whetstone that supposedly belongs to Dose. And on the aura that permeates it, that's hers. And it forms this thin line in the direction of the west, which, amusingly enough, points you towards the back of the gallantry, based on its positioning.
Is she at Aster Rock?
Maybe. Maybe she's further than that.
We could actually look at the map for a second. Let's do that.
It's only been a day. She can't have gotten too far.
It was basically a northwesternly kind of ping?
It was west.
West, okay.
Yes. And if you recall, in the war room, there were like 3 or 4 marks on the map. One east of Savantown, one to the far west of the continent, and one north. And I believe the northern one corresponded to the hamlet.
Small site, what was at Astarock again? Have we been there directly? I can't remember.
You haven't, but it is a landmark. It is this massive, I forget the name of it, the large flat protrusions, plateau, I guess it is. I believe it might be called, or a bluff or something. There's a specific name for it. But if you've seen, like, animated Western movies that show, like, the barrens of the Wild West, you'll usually... mesa. Thank you!
That's it.
Thank you. Astarock is a mesa.
And Mawile did want to go there.
She did, but she also wanted to go to the Moonbound Ruins.
Fair. Did she give a reason for going to Astarock, why she wanted to go?
I forget. I'm sure she did.
Okay.
It is a point of interest.
I'm sure it's something to do with her research, so... Okay. That's interesting.
Just gonna look at Uno. She is a long way away from here. Are you sure she went hunting and isn't doing something else?
I mean, well, I hope she went hunting. Otherwise, I'm going to have to do it tomorrow. Considering, you know, all the food that got eaten.
I don't think she'll be back by tomorrow. She's real far out.
Oh. Okay. I guess I'll just follow Sir Ricade's advice and stay put. And try not to worry too much.
I wouldn't. If I heard anything from the Pyro tribe, then things are just a bit scarce right now. They might just be having poor luck hunting.
That wouldn't surprise me. Honestly, it's really hard to grow anything here, too. Not that Sir Cheval's a great gardener.
I can imagine not.
Don't let him know I said that.
Your secret is safe with my indifference.
Oh no! Is it you saying that?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
This could also be applied to Tucker. Honestly, that statement.
By the way, as y'all are heading up to the western direction to get a better look, and it's a clear night, by the way, so you can see in the distance Aster Rock, and it stands very tall. And Riley, your coat, it almost feels like there's this very subtle tugging from the gemstones in your coat as you're looking at Aster Rock, but when you pay attention, they're not actually doing anything.
I'm not sure what this means. Well, if I go to that rock wearing the coat, I'll probably just fold in on myself like I've stepped into a wormhole. So let's just not do that.
It does not sound pleasant per se.
Well, I suppose I'll take the sword back downstairs.
But before you do, Insight Survival Alert.
Oh, right. Fine, Tucker. Gotcha.
Can I explain what Tucker's last actions are, since we did a roll for technically his next actions? Instead of going down the ramp to the courtyard, since you mentioned the layout of the these ledges are effectively that you can see from above to the lower ones, but there's places where the line of sight is broken. He's going to try to go to one of those line of sight break areas, basically where there is actually an outcropping where he can hide underneath.
Apparently it works.
I mean, your best bet is either somewhere along the first floor, especially like the tunnel, or slinking along the second floor.
Now, see, he's not trying to actually go anywhere at this moment. He's simply trying to find the nearest spot where he's shrouded or hidden.
Oh, well, the easiest way to do that is hide under the ramp.
Which is probably what I do. He'd probably slowly go down the ramp, the second story ramp, as the other two go outside, and then just kind of casually just do a little loop and hide right underneath it. That's all he's aiming to do, at least for starters. Because there's something that we set up last time.
Yes.
Though he does take a minute to look into the main courtyard to see what's going on there, if anything.
There's not terribly much going on. You don't see Sir Cheval or Sir Ricade at the moment. It looks like they've managed to clean up somehow.
Okay. He was also waiting for that to be done, because he kind of figured there'd probably be some...
probably had enough time to go outside and use the restroom and come back.
That is probably true. I don't know, actually. Depends on where the hole is, but...
I mean, to be fair, you could have probably actually gone out, used the restroom truthfully, come back in, still have told the truth, but also gone and done your own thing.
Still,
and Riley
though...
would be none the wiser.
That's true. Anyways, what Tucker will do next, assuming it is my floor right now, he's going to use Shadow Sneak.
Ooh.
Last session, I set this up, he looked around, found the most out of the way of the tapestries, that one that looked like it could maybe be missed for a little while, and just memorized that geographical spot. Just visualized it so he would remember where it was and what it looked like. I believe it was a spot that was a little bit out of sight, or at least a little bit more shrouded than the other tapestries, which are more visible.
I believe I described it as such.
Yeah.
So go ahead and roll for Shadow Sneak.
Yes, he's going to, I believe it's in the courtyard, so he's going to Shadow Sneak there now. Okay. See how this works. Oh wait, hold on. I forgot 2 dice. Or 1 dice. And 1 more on top of that. Oh, wow. Okay, well, that didn't help, but... would be a 5.
Decent work. It's not too terribly far away for you. And, you're just doing a jump, or are you grabbing the item?
grabbing the item.
Okay.
Is this now? I have been a little underversed. Can he use the Shadow Snake for a zip zap back, or can he only use it for a zip? He is still fresh with Shadow Snake, so.
For Tucker, you would need to roll a second time if you're going through and then back again.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you are putting a portion of yourself through,
Yes.
which is a bit more difficult.
Okay.
And then pulling it back.
Okay. I guess either way it would require a second roll to see if success happens, right?
Yeah, if you're going through and then back, you would need to roll Shadow Sneak again. If you're going to try and pull the thing through,
He's going to do through and back, because pulling the through could damage it, and he's not trying to do that.
Okay.
He's going to be delicate about this, so...
Yep.
All right.
Go ahead and roll Shadow Sneak again at a
Penalty?
-2.
Yeah, okay. So yep. Okay.
You manage. There's a bit of flailing as you end up partially off the ground when you pop through, but, rather than flailing too hard, you just Shadow Sneak again while you fall.
Alright, well, Tucker takes a moment between these Shadow Sneaks to quickly yet carefully undo the tapestry from the part of the wall it's on, fold it into squares that seem safe enough to fold such an... I don't know, how old is this particular tapestry? How delicate would he have to be with this one?
It's fairly old, but it's made of material that looks sturdier, that is sturdier than it looks.
Okay.
But you do get the feeling that you want to be careful with it, because if you're too rough with it, and it's up for debate what is too rough, you may end up tearing it.
Right.
Even though it's still old cloth.
Even though he's sort of exposed and it is kind of a stealth situation, he will take extra time to not only fold it up, but also situate between his winter clothes and his maid outfit. So it's basically put between two soft objects and not possibly going to get damaged.
Alrighty.
And then he will indeed sneak back to... Well, the easiest place to do would be the place he was just at, so underneath the first floor ramp again.
Are you sure you want to sneak to the first floor ramp, or do you just want to go back to the room?
He's concerned about sneaking back into a popular location.
Okay.
So.
Which means Riley gets one more insight survival alert to see if he catches Tucker.
So he doesn't know if somebody woke up at that moment, so.
Alright, roll your stealth thing.
Okay.
He doesn't have to roll stealth. We'll just use the previous roll.
Alright. Be stealthy.
Mostly because he's hiding behind the ramp.
Okay.
Yeah, your secret is safe with my indifference.
I feel like you know some stuff, but you're just not really focusing on it too much.
Oh, Riley probably could put the pieces together if he really wanted to, but he just doesn't care.
Is that because he trusts Tucker to not be an evil person?
So, mostly what happens is, because of the way that Uno likes to do the loop, Riley is on the other side of the gallantry when Tucker hunkers down behind the ramp. So he's going to catch a glimpse of Tucker hiding behind the ramp on the other side of the gallantry while they're going back to Uno and Dos's room.
I'm gonna walk right up to Tucker.
What?
I'm gonna walk right up to Tucker.
With Uno?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Uno stuttering like, but the room was this way.
Yeah.
What?
There's something out there that spooked you, or what you doing under the stairs?
I was gonna say, is he gonna catch him under the stairs or exiting? Because when he does Shadow Sneak back, Tucker will be going back out from under ramp and trying to look unsuspicious at that point. So what point does Riley catch him at?
Riley is going to catch Tucker while he's... just as he's managing to exit the ramp. Probably a little bit surprisingly.
Tucker attempts to maintain himself from not jumping in surprise, though he does jitter a little bit, and remarks, I dropped one of the wedding bands that Brooke gave me. It rolled over here. I'm good. Everything's fine.
Blink. Shrug. Upstairs.
Stressful blink from Tucker. And once again, another awkward walk where he also goes up the stairs too, because that's where he was going.
Probably keep a better grip on those things. I imagine they're worth quite a bit.
Uno stares at Tucker for a brief minute before realizing that Riley is gone. They blink, and then they jump a bit and then float after Riley.
Tucker does an exaggerated grin to Uno, kind of like that one emote I have in the Pokerole server. Except for more nervous. And then steps with them, saying nothing otherwise.
Anyway, I'm going to bed.
Tucker is a little too eager to turn down the hallway and head back to Calvin's room.
Okay. So, unless there is more people would like to do tonight...
Oh, not with the bed like reasonable people.
I need someone to roll a Doom die.
Kyrio, roll Doom. Nah, it's not Solandits.
No, you're not that lucky. At some point, y'all are going to roll so many sixes, I'm going to have shiny gold Solandits pop up, do a dance, and leave behind a loot box. So, next morning, you'll wake up, well rested. Make sure you all recover whatever will you have if you are missing any. And I believe it's supposed to be up to half your HP.
Solves and half HP.
Round down or up, I forget.
Round up.
Okay.
Round up because in favor of players...
Wait, if you're a 3 of 6, do you mean half of the total? Then I'm a fool.
Half of total.
Okay. Tucker does, by the way, is anyone... I guess it is worth asking, is anyone awake when he gets back into the room, though?
I mean, Calvin's asleep. I don't know if Kyrio... I don't know if Brooke is still awake.
Brooke or Ralph, probably. They're probably asleep, but I wanted to give him a chance to... Alright.
Yeah, Ralph is almost certainly still asleep.
Okay. Well, Tucker immediately beds down exactly where he was before, putting the bag where it was before, and actually goes to sleep. He doesn't waste much time, doesn't look suspicious to anybody else.
In any case, in the morning, those of you who wake earliest will find that Calvin is not in their room. Rather, they are down in the courtyard being fitted with what looks to be a sled of some description. Or a wagon, I suppose. Wheelbarrow? Wheelbarrow. Wheelbarrow is closest.
Okay.
It is a relatively crude wooden affair.
Oh, looks serviceable. Big enough for everybody, I guess?
Close enough. Might be a mild squeeze with Brooke in there.
I want to offer an opportunity before everybody sets out. Eragon, Riley definitely, clearly... I mean, the rolls were not beaten, but that's mostly because of indifference, and... I'm going to simply ask, does he want to pull Tucker aside in the morning or something? Or does he not give a shit?
I think Riley, as he just passes by, we'll just say, you might want to try sweating less bullets next time you do something like that.
Tucker just kind of lowers his head for a second and does a small nod, but says nothing otherwise.
That's it.
Okay. Riley could definitely pick up that Tucker feels a little bad about whatever he was doing, but being that it's Tucker, it's probably not the worst thing in the world for as far as the group as a whole is concerned.
When you all make your way down to the courtyard, Sir Cheval will greet you. Hail and well met, esteemed guests! As you can see, my fair Lady Calliope is currently harnessed to our wondrous transportation device, and he gestures towards this wagon that looks like it would probably fall apart if Calvin ran too hard.
That's a ship one can expect from a group that has collectively, I think, like 2 hands between them.
True, but they could probably cut the wood well.
I mean, technically 4. Or, no, 5. 5 if you count Dose.
I'm not counting Dose. It's not here.
Oh, well then 3.
I was debating how the swords, frail hands, how strong they are for, like, actual strength. But I suppose they have a decent amount of strength considering what else they hold and such.
Very strong now. Glad you all are finally awake. Hopefully you're ready to get moving. I'm going to try and get you home as fast as possible, okay?
You sure you can, like, carry us all? I mean, we can take turns, like, walking if...
No, it'll just be much faster if you all get in this wheelbarrow. It is a magnificent carriage with which to carry many things. Sir Cheval, it's a wheelbarrow.
A magnificent carriage is befitting. I'll be just like a princess.
Calvin just levels a deadpan stare at Ralph. Works for me, Brooke says, climbing in.
Yeah, I'll go in.
So will Tucker. Tucker is acting slightly less suspicious this morning, thankfully, with everyone else around. He looks a little bit sad, but is appreciative, and also extends another thanks to the knights as a whole for their hospitality, which does seem very genuine.
And Sir Cheval, in a most bombastic and loud manner, thanks you for upholding honor and respect for the knighthood and various other things. I'm sorry, it's late.
It's okay.
I can't do Sir Cheval 100% of the time.
It's okay.
Though, as you all are preparing to leave, a Bisharp stands at the gateway of the gallantry.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Didn't expect this. Let's do this. Do you have a song change you want for that, or?
Did we have a song for that?
A long time ago we did. I'm not sure if it's still relevant, but it was there.
Was it in battles?
It may be. I think it was on events, perhaps.
Let me check events.
All right. While you do that, I'm gonna go get it. What generation, everyone?
Unova.
That would be 5, right? Yeah. Because the same generation as, well, Cheval, so. I just never remember, for the most part. I remember Gen 1 and 2's Pokemon. After that, I sometimes mix it up. So, like, which Gen, which Pokemon. Once I have the model, I'll help you find the song, if you haven't found it. Where is Bisharp? Hey, this is actually in order. What the hell? Most of these bags aren't. There it is. I can tell the dex number order is actually accurate for this. There we go. Oh, whoops.
Ah, events 2:30.
Oh, wow, it's actually an events too. Okay. I have no idea how big these guys are. Okay, it's 2:30. Hold on a sec. Also, thank you, Drac. Ah, yes, okay. Alright. I think that's a good volume. Alright.
Alright, I'll adjust my volume.
I think the volume should be around where it was before. For the previous song, I think.
There we go. Cheval. The Bisharp stares at the Escalier. Oh, I should probably
Go ahead and size him how you want.
scale him up.
I only partially did.
Oh, that's a bit big. That's a bit better.
Okay.
Should probably be slightly taller than Burke, but I'm not going to bother with specifics.
There.
Benkei! Why are you here? I did not realize you had been assigned to this continent. The Bisharp looks unamused as they cross their arms behind their back and begin to enter the gallantry. And behind them, a troop of Poniard follow, as well as a shimmering black Sizor that follows closely behind the Bisharp. You sent one of your lackeys to interfere with me. I'm sure you understand how unappreciative I am for the interference. He states with a cold indifference. The Sizor sneers, and those of you that look can see in its claws is Dose, battered and cracked. Lieutenant. Without another word, the Sizor tosses Dose forward into the courtyard, their blades clattering and crossing over each other. They are unconscious, clearly, but they're certainly alive, at least as much as ghost types are. What is the meaning of this? How dare you! You besmirch your honor, craven cad! Laying your blade upon another knight so. Know that my squire, my apprentice, was not sent to interfere with whatever foolishness you are doing. I wonder, how would the Night Lords feel about the foolishness you inflict upon our social standing here in this continent? Their gaze rakes across the rest of you. Surely you have noted this knight's reckless behavior. You talk of honor, and yet your own squires recklessly charge in where they are unwanted and unneeded, creating more trouble than you're worth. Dose! Uno rushes over to their sibling's side, checking over them. Bah! What would you know? Of our duty, our honor as knights, to uphold justice and order, to cleanse wickedness from these lands. What would one unaligned as you know? And I could say the same. I'm not fool enough to cast my allegiance to one and only one virtue. I'm sure these poor fellows have already fallen prey to your recklessness. Know this, Sir Cheval. Do not interfere with me again. I will do what I must in order to maintain order in these lands. And should you disrupt that order, he turns halfway and then makes a sharp slicing motion with one hand. I shall ensure that you are ejected. Come. Lieutenant. The Sizor bows before Benkei. Of course. They grin that sort of weaselly, almost sickly grin as they look up at all of you. And then they turn and motion towards the troop of Poniard, who salute to Benkei, parting as he passes, leaving Sir Cheval to seethe. Well, that happened. Who was that jerk? Burke asks. Sir Cheval, perhaps you want him to dose. Yes, you're right. Uno, to me. We shall go and seek out the medical supplies in the storage room. Of course, Sir Cheval. And they begin to drag the unconscious Dose away. That is one knight known as Benkei of the 100 Victories. Riley, can you help? Burke asks.
Yeah, hold on.
They are already effectively in a fainted state.
So
If I can bring somebody back from the dead, even if I can't wake them up, I can heal them.
You may. If you wish to expend a will to try and heal them, you can. I'm just saying that you probably won't wake them.
Just saying if any of... Oh, 1 second, by the way. Okay, hey... one thing real fast. Tubby?
Yeah.
Yo.
That scene was quite dramatic, and the TV or whatever was loud, so I muted you briefly. If you said anything, just let me know.
Yes.
He didn't say anything.
Yeah, I might have been muted. I've been trying to mute and.
Oh, it's okay. I'm just letting you know, I personally muted you. No offense, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, but I was just letting you know if you said something, you could say it again.
Yeah, I had commented friend of yours, but it was a tongue in cheek, a friend of yours, But really, I mean, like, I'm not a friend of yours.
Fair. During that altercation, Tucker was actually just kind of looking at everybody to see if a fight was about to break out, but stayed more or less still otherwise.
Yeah. Considered breaking out a fight, but respect prevented him.
Riley, you go over. Dose is battered and very clearly unconscious, and when you heal them, they don't wake up immediately, but at the very least, their blades aren't cracked anymore, their sashes aren't tattered, so they're okay, just knocked out for the moment.
He just needs a rest at this point.
Still... You're noting that Sir Cheval is uncharacteristically silent at the moment. But you can see he's shaking. He is upset. At least Riley can. He's the closer one. 100 victories? Burkass? Sounds impressive.
It is. And it is rightfully deserved. There is one on this continent. I have heard them known as Deadeye. They would be Benkei's equivalent, though I have not yet seen the measure of this Deadeye's power. Benkei is
alright.
Benkei is a knight unaligned. They did not ally themselves with any particular faction or virtue. This is not frowned upon, though some, such as Sir Cheval, may feel a rivalry with them.
I have, Brooke says. I wouldn't pick a fight with him, and I pick a fight with everyone. Well, you don't pick a fight with Benkei, Calvin says. Or his lieutenant. They're strong. I don't know why they're here in the Plains continent, though. I guess they must have seen it as a challenge. Or maybe one of the Night Lords sent them? They look towards Sir Ricade. Sir Ricade shakes their body, basically like shaking their head.
The why is unimportant. Clearly, Dose got in over her head. I doubt she will learn from this experience. And Sir Cheval is clearly incensed. And I must say, had I blood, it would boil. But now is not the time to allow ourselves to lose our heads. Our duty to you comes first. Though I must beg you, Lady Calliope. Uno can no longer join you on this venture. And further, I must ask you return at convenience.
Are you sure it's still alright for me to go? Ricade exchanges a glance between Sir Cheval and Calvin.
It would be best. Were you to stay, I would be forced to join Sir Cheval, as he mounted you and went off after Benkei in retribution.
I understand. Calvin gets a determined look on their face. I promise I will return quickly. I might not be as boisterous as the rest of you, but even I can't let this stand. No matter what Benkei's motives are, that wasn't right. Sir Ricade nods. He looks to the rest of you.
This is a dispute between knights. You need not ally yourselves with us. In fact, it would perhaps be best that you left the matter alone. We shall resolve it in due time, I'm sure.
Yeah, as much as I'd like to interfere, we did just kind of have a whole conversation about how it's better when you don't.
Was it made clear who picked a fight with whom in that altercation?
No.
No. The implication, at least by Benkei's admission, is that Dose is the one who picked the fight.
Yeah, unreliable narrator.
Correct. Like, you guys do not have enough knowledge.
Was it possible to... I guess this would be a question more Riley could think about than Tucker. Tucker was at a bit of a distance, but there's a difference between defeating somebody in battle and beating them the fuck up. And perhaps...
Oh, this is definitely a beat the fuck up sort of situation.
Yeah, and, I mean... Riley, I won't even make you roll for this. The Sizor gave you bad vibes.
I wonder if Tucker
they are
picked up
probably
any
the one
vibes.
who is responsible for Dose's state.
I could take him.
Probably.
Tucker is unfortunately kind of familiar with brutality too. I wonder if he picked up on that as well.
It's difficult to ignore, but you're right. It's not our mission, Brooke says. I will be letting Pangoro know about it, though. You'd want to know what's going on around the continent.
Tucker,
Glad I played the Sizor correctly. Thank you, Kyrio.
Tucker will nod and add on to Brooke's statement. Maybe this guy had a lot of victories, but it doesn't look like he considers others. So, it's definitely good for more people around the Plains continent to know they're here.
I could get quite a few victories of my own if I just went around beating up townsfolk.
Do not mistake Dose as someone equivalent to one of the common folk. We will have our retribution. For now, I ask you leave. It would be unbecoming of you to see Sir Cheval in what comes next.
Calvin dips their head in a grim nod. I'm sorry, everyone. It looks like I won't be able to stay around Fantown very long after all.
We'll come back when this whole mess is over and tell us how it went then.
They give a wan smile. Yeah, I guess I will. Hopefully with Uno. But thank you for agreeing to tell Pangoro about this. I don't know a whole lot about Benkei, but this is extreme. So if something happened, better that he know than not. Let's go, team, Brooke says with a nod. We appreciate the ride either way.
Right.
Oh, damn.
We have unlocked fast travel.
You have
And,
unlocked fast travel for this one instance.
Yeah.
Just
I turn around and, should you decide you want our help, drop us a line, and we'll be back here as quick as we can.
This is something to do with
That thumbs
honor,
up.
Ralph. I highly doubt that it's going to come to that.
I mean, I mean, Ralph doubts it too. It's just a gesture of goodwill, like, it's like, basically, we're staying back like you said, but if you change your mind,
Tucker
we'll
will
file this guy so fast.
Tucker will add on to the statement, saying something a bit more measured. More specifically, if Benkei does anything that is of interest to more than just the Knights, please let us know.
They can at least agree to that, sorry. I'm putting things away.
Oh, fair enough. You have me scrambling to get a lot of different models there, actually.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. I was like, oh, okay. Time to get these.
Yep. In any case, you are all permitted, I say, to leave the gallantry. One of you is going to have to ride on Calvin, though.
I think I'll probably do that. I am the lightest, and also not on 4 legs.
Yeah, that makes it a little easier.
Oh, I wanted to ride a pony.
Do not call
Not a
him
pony top.
You've now lost whatever privilege you had for that. Into the trolley.
Into the trolley.
The trolley.
Suffice to say, Calvin is quick. Though, unfortunately, it's not like there are paved roads around the Plains continent.
Y'all are gonna be so sore tomorrow, and I'll be fine.
It's a bit bumpy.
You are going to be sore too.
I'm sore
Calvin's
all the
not
time anyway.
Calvin's not wearing a saddle.
Yeah, it's gonna be sore for you too.
In any case, it doesn't take just a day, unfortunately. Mostly because trying to get the wagon over certain things and having to pause here and there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more a day and a half or so that passes. And like I said, Calvin's fast. And you can see the map. You see the distance. It's quite the distance. Calvin has cut your time by perhaps more than half.
Nice.
Nice.
Dang electric types.
Superb.
I mean, it helps that I'm pretty sure Calvin has like agility and some other stuff going for them. I can put up their stat blocks later if people want, truly.
Could be curious.
But by late afternoon, Calvin manages to stop at late afternoon on the second day. Manages to stop in front of the gateway to Savantown. It has been a while. And also, it's probably appropriate time to swap to Savantown music.
This is true.
I forgot about Benkei's music. I like it a lot.
It's a nice chill if he's not terribly chill sort of song. Though it's dark. It has a dark feel to it, so it works either way. Let's see.
29.
And I don't know what the rest of y'all are doing, but I'm going home to go see Liz.
Oh yeah, let's put some other stuff away, actually.
Yes, several of those models. Can
Error
go
in
now.
script. Unknown error. What's your problem? I just put away dose and error. Okay, let's have to check on that.
Okay then.
Well, if dose disappeared, I'll just respawn them later.
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't know
They're
what that
ghosts.
was
They're
about.
not dead.
Oh, they're fine. They're in the bank. I don't know what that was about though. Right, there we go. Oh, well,
But yeah,
whoa, no.
it's
Oops.
Savantown looks like it's going on as normal. Completely oblivious to all the crap that you have gone through.
That's good. Good that there's not more crap to come back to.
This is true. Though, Zeal isn't here yet, for obvious reasons.
He's at his house.
Well, aside from that, frickin' Calvin Zoobies.
You probably ran him over on the way here.
Hey guys!
I'm sorry, you just reminded me of the Legend of PP YouTube animatic that I saw today.
You're
It's
welcome.
great. And for those who don't know, it's an animatic about like this cat who is a knight, and it's pretty great.
Oh, I see. I did not know.
Yes, their name is... I don't know why their name is that. I assume it's a French name, perhaps. Maybe? Doesn't matter.
Oh, there we go. That's weird.
But
I
Riley-
could've sworn I removed that. Alright, there we go.
Riley goes off to see Liz, and you are barely up to the door before Liz has opened it and they've got the egg all swaddled up in their arms, and they are staring at Riley, and they're starting to tear up.
None of that. Lift me up. Let's hug properly.
They look down at their arms, and they look at Riley.
Okay, get down here then.
Lizard shuffles up awkwardly and crouches down to Riley's level.
I will hug this lizard very tightly.
Aww. Lizard will use one arm to hug Riley back as much as they can. They are having a small cry. I missed you.
Missed you too.
I was worried about you. They look up, seeing Calvin coming in with everyone else in the wagon. I was worried about all of you.
Well, as much as my track record on promises is pretty bad, I did promise to come back okay.
Tucker gives a smile to that comment that Lizard made and gives a friendly tail waggle towards them. It's nice to see you too, Lizard. I hope things have been okay.
Mostly? I've not been doing very well with you all guys being gone. They say very awkwardly, trying not to look too much at Riley. It is very clear that Lizard was just less okay with Riley being gone.
While obvious,
Well,
it's not offensive to Tucker at all. He gets it.
And Lizard blinks and looks down at Riley as your two new acquisitions poke their heads out of your bag.
This is Pop and Laddie. I suppose that technically are new recruits.
Oh, okay. Zeal has not made it back yet. You all made it back before him. I'm sure everyone will be happy to see you all again. Hot Dog is still working at the moment.
To go rescue him at some point soon here. Might have to go rescue him at some point soon here.
Eventually. But Lizard gestures towards the open door to your base.
Let's go in.
I've been trying to keep everything tidy. The berries have started to sprout. They smile as they try to explain everything that has gone on in the time you all have been gone.
Very limited number of things.
Tucker does mention, is the egg doing alright?
I figure I'll pause a moment just in case Brooke is going to comment.
Sure, that's fine.
Calvin is still here.
Yes.
Brap hasn't gotten out of the cart yet.
Well, I assume Calvin still needs a break. At least.
Yeah, they do. Calvin wants to rush back, but they're not dumb enough to try and do it immediately.
Yeah, he just hauled a 300+ pound Munchlax and friends.
Yes, this is true.
Well, actually, I'm not quite 300 yet.
Combined, though.
Yeah. Post-evolution, that...
Well, maybe.
I don't think I don't think anyone's going to be able to give me a ride post-evolution unless we meet a Groudon or something.
You can give people rides. It's fine.
Yeah, at that point, I could be a raft.
You could.
Snorlax can learn surf, so, like, legit, you can see the ocean on here. After we said hellos here, I'm gonna check if Mawile is home.
Mawile
I've been away from. Yes, because I've been away from my sweetheart too long.
Hey, Liz. Thanks for holding down the fort. This is Calvin. He's with the Knights. Cal, this is Lizard. They're Lizard. I'm about to head to see Pangoro. Do you want to come with? Calvin shakes their head. As much as I probably should, I really should just rest up and then go. But I appreciate the offer.
You from the cart, and you can come inside at least.
Calvin seems a bit nervous, but you know they let it happen, and they will awkwardly follow Brooke inside to commit to the debriefing.
Do we have snacks we can give them? They need some energy.
Yeah, there are snacks, and they will be able to get a drink. And hopefully not be too awkward around a bunch of other Pokemon. Something Calvin might have some form of social anxiety, maybe.
Understandable.
But Lizard will hold the egg out towards Tucker. It's been doing pretty well. I think it started to move. I can't tell.
Tucker makes a, just kind of reflexively makes a little bit of an excited noise to that comment, and will take the egg. And, inspect it. Thanks for taking care of it while I was gone. I really appreciate it, Lizard.
Of course. I mean, who else was going to do it? Hot Dog? Well, if you're sure, Burke says to Calvin, hopefully I can see you off. It won't be long. Thanks. And I realize I'm sort of blending Calvin and Lizard. Unfortunately, they're very
voices.
similar.
It's fine, some people do.
But yeah, Calvin is going to take the opportunity to stay outside the building that has all the other Pokemon in it if they get the chance.
That's fair. We have, like, a garden, so I assume we have a grassy area they could rest in or something.
Burke nods and heads off to the clubhouse. But if Tucker waits enough inspecting the egg, it does eventually, like, do a little wiggle.
Cute. Tucker will nose boop when it does that, and just kind of dote on it for a second before remembering he's got other things to do. He will probably. So, if I'm correct, Ralph's going off to see Mawile, Brooke's going to go back to the clubhouse for a report, and Riley's probably going to hang out with Blizzard at our place.
Absolutely.
Okay, Tucker will pop upstairs to go to his room and put his bag there, and he's going to get that one blanket thing he had before, so he can sling the egg and hold on to it while he does other things, and he'll go with Brooke if Brooke waits a second. He'll be fast though.
I'm sure Tucker can catch up with Brooke. No
Yeah, he'll just catch up. Unless Brooke is absolutely booking it, he'll probably catch up.
Or rooking it.
I feel like you've made that joke before. Lizard will explain to Riley all the sorts of things that have gone on. They're generally okay with Laddie and Poff, though they were initially quite concerned about Poff because Poff is clearly an ice type and they are a fire type, and Poff should have totally melted by now.
Poff has been magically enchanted by a god, so they'll be fine.
Yeah, just explaining that Poff got a blessing from a legendary is enough, and they don't really want to ask more at the moment because otherwise they might start having a panic attack.
I'm gonna make sure Laddie ends up in Brooks Pond, though.
You specifically put Laddie in Brooks Pond?
Are you just gonna go into his room?
Laddie hasn't gone swimming for a while, so
I mean, it's fair. I'm just asking, are you gonna go into Brooks' room and put him there?
Absolutely.
Oh gosh. I'm sorry. Just Laddie just floats there in the little pond. They look very content, even though their expression has not changed.
Perfect. Poff stays with me. You'd be good in there, Laddie. Enjoy the soak.
But yeah.
Unfortunately, we don't have like an ice box to put Poff into, so. I mean, I know he's enchanted, but probably still likes that sort of thing.
Well, just go out at night.
But for the most part, as far as Lizard explains it, you all have received some basic jobs, mostly very easy, quick to do things, at least in the grand scheme of things, some of which are around town. Some of which Lizard or Hot Dog have at least attempted to do, if they have not already. There are, unfortunately, no new recruits, and Lizard kind of laments that they have not been the best secretary, or at least feel like they have not been the best secretary.
Aw.
But they've been really trying.
We appreciate them.
We're still fledgling. It's understandable there's not that much hubbub yet.
Indeed.
As far as
And
an
also-
established team.
And also, you know, there are a lot of Pokemon that would rather just have their own team before they would rather join another. At least until they realize that, oh yeah, having your own team is not always all it's cracked up to be.
A lot of paperwork.
Not necessarily paperwork, it's just hard.
Yeah. Well, I imagine we're eventually we'll get a somewhat of a reputation, and people will be like, "Oh yeah, we'll join the adventurous team here," and then eventually our reputation will get to where, like, dude, whatever you do, don't pick Team Cheer. They have the worst luck.
I think that's where we already are.
All the bad things happen to them. Don't. Just don't. We live in interesting times. You are interesting times.
Brooke specifically is
like,
interesting.
Yeah. It's like, well, looking at some teams here, I'm thinking maybe Team Cheer. You don't want Team Cheer. Well, why not? Motion over to Ralph. And then I said, more like, okay. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, I hate to say it, but I'm pretty sure Ralph and Riley are going to be the examples when it comes to, no, don't pick Team Cheer. They gesture at Riley and like, what's wrong with that one? Do you really want to know? And that's all they need to say.
The name Team Cheers is almost leading now. Listen, that's the goal, not necessarily the experience.
The goal is to spread cheer, and you've been doing a decent job through all the tiers.
We spread fear, gotcha.
There's a difference between giving cheer and experiencing it.
Yes.
Dude, Team Fear would be a baller, like, evil team name.
May I ask, while it was brought up, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was going to say that if the bloodberries have grown, perhaps their HQ storage should be updated with some bloodberries. I don't know.
They have sprouted. They have not grown.
Oh, they haven't grown. Okay, never mind.
You're at the first stage of your berry bush in Emerald.
Oh, okay. I guess that actually makes it very clear. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will update the name, though.
We really should think about just setting up more farm space around another side of the building or something, so we can grow even more stuff.
I mean, you have Laddie now. Laddie can be a sprinkler.
That's true. That's his job, Well, I mean, I think that should be his job.
His job is to be pampered by Brooke.
I'm just gonna put it on Brooke now.
Brooke begrudgingly pampering this little quacking water type.
Yeah. Brooke installing the only pool at the building.
I want you to be pampered. That's not canon because I'm not actually there.
You're off on your own, yeah.
You're off with Mawile, and Mawile is happy that Ralph is back.
Yes.
And
It'd be a bit like a big hug as soon as she like opens the door and they embrace each other, a big hug.
The only small water type I'm remotely interested in pampering is Squirtle.
This is fair.
That's true. For now. But yeah, Ralph, you and Mawile get to share time together and, compare notes and various other things. As much as you are willing to share anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
actually, you probably have stories for her, actually, that could maybe be useful for her, actually.
Speaking of stories, one of the things that Brooke is going to notice when they enter, and what Tucker is going to notice when you enter, Florence isn't there.
Actually, I was curious. Does Tucker have a chance to walk with Brooke before they get to the clubhouse? Or does he catch him at the door?
No.
Okay.
Brooke will already be in the clubhouse by the time you have done your thing and then get there.
All right, then Tucker will just somewhat quietly join him with his debriefing.
I didn't necessarily say Brooke was going to be in the debriefing, but
or whatever Brooke is doing, he's going to quietly join along.
Yes. Which, by the way, Brooke, as soon as someone mentions that you're back, Squirtle thump 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 down the stairs, and they slip, pop into their shell, and just dink dunk thunk down the rest of the stairs and roll right up to you, pop out, and then hug your leg. He's reporting to Bangor, but that doesn't have to happen immediately. Well, unfortunately, it is not. Because Mute Squirtle has found their sibling again.
Tucker does quite a cute chuckle to that event.
Oh, hey, Squirt, Rick says with a chuckle. Aren't you supposed to be in class or something? Squirtle lets go of Brooke's leg, shakes their head, and gestures to a neckerchief that they have on. And it's a blue and red neckerchief that is embroidered with the words "in training." Rise chuckles from behind the counter. Glad you're home. That's a little something that I have from Neubad. They aren't here either at the moment, but... well... at least it tided them over until you returned.
Tucker perks up quite a bit, seeing Rise, and says, "Hey, Rise, how's everything been around here?"
Well, it's been fairly quiet. Surprising, wouldn't you say? It's almost like you all bring a bunch of noise with you. They smirk.
Tucker kind of bows his head at that one with a bit of a smile.
I'm kidding. It's quiet because Florence is away. If you're looking for Pangoro, he's up in his office. As usual.
Well, while Brooke probably writes a line, Tucker will note, "Oh, I think I've gotten the hang of Shadow Sneak now."
Really? Well, consider me... I don't even think I know the right word for it. Impressed?
Tucker beams a little more.
I suppose it's more accurate to say, as they head around the counter and place upon Tucker's head, I'm proud of you for your progress.
Thanks, Rice. Could have done without a good teacher, though.
Oh wow, Rook says. Congrats. Train good. Maybe you'll be a better pioneer than me. Or at least more of a subordinate one. The Squirtle smiles and gives a double thumbs up, and then begins heading back upstairs. They didn't even try to cling to you or make a fuss this time.
Responsibility.
I would speak to that. I said character growth all around.
Now, if only Noibat could be that accepting. Oh well. At least they've been given something to do. Anyway, I won't keep you. But if you're hungry, you know where I am. Wait, Team Cheer are back? I didn't say your shift was over. Hot Dog only gets to briefly pipe up before his ears pin back and he just goes back to work.
God, slave driver.
Tucker goes, Hi, Hot Dog. Bye, Hot Dog.
Rise, Brooke greets politely. He waves at Hot Dog. We'll talk later.
Voyager needed to rescue him.
You were right. You were absolutely right.
This reminds me, I do gotta visit Rice later. Give him his gift.
I'm drawing a blank on this, and
I
I'm
don't remember
concerned.
this myself.
But
The salt jars.
Oh, the salt. That's right. You got jars of salt.
Yeah.
That's fair. And a useful seasoning, that.
But in the interest of moving things on, because I know it's late,
Yeah.
you, Brooke and Tucker get to head up and meet with Pangoro. And you will get a chance to make your report. And Pangoro is going to be impressed and concerned and impressed in varying amounts and sequences, depending on how you tell the report, because I know all the stuff that you all have gone through.
Tucker will mostly allow Brooke to say the report, though he might pipe in here and there with extra details.
And you get in the snow run package. That's right, I had forgotten about that. That's excellent.
And the coat.
That's not just the only package. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yes, so for the Snow Art package, his specific response, and I'm not going to do his voice right now, it's too late, my throat hurts.
Okay.
I would love to do his voice, I'm sorry, I know it's been so long.
It's alright.
Is that he is more than happy to open up, like, trade to the Snow Runt Hamlet.
Kyrio actually makes a good point. I was actually thinking that myself. We could just end here since it is 10, and these scenes could be given more detail, and your throat given more time to actually do them, comfortably if we did a next session.
If you want, we would want to note them down.
It's up to you guys, but I wasn't going to say anything, but then Kyrio said something, I'm like, yeah, that's reasonable. Also, I don't want to interfere with Eragon's work schedule, but that's another thing, too. His sleep schedule.
Do we want to end here? Like, we can note down what's necessary and...
I think, yeah, because I feel like this deserves to be, like, done in the voice and stuff.
Because then Ralph also gets to talk to Mawel properly, too. And, yeah, I don't know.
But I don't have much for Mawel to say.
Oh, but but Ralph might, though. He might have
That's
some
true.
research topics to bring up or something.
That's true. Oh.
I see a lot of, I see potential. I mean, these conversations don't have to be detailed, but I see potential. Plus, I
started out tired and it's been 4 hours. That's
and
fair.
And I'm content. I feel like this is a good session already, so... what do you think, though, Eragon? Would you like to stop here?
I mean, that's probably for the best, yeah. And
then have more detailed downtime scenes next session? Okay.
Alright. In which case, everybody get your 2 XP for the session.
Alright.
Towny episodes, woo! Possibly not terribly long, because I know you guys have places to go.
I think a bit of towny time is appreciated. That's another reason. It seems like we're more on that mindset. Like, yeah, it's okay if we spend a little extra time in town and have more detailed scenes next time. But yeah, not forever, obviously. But honestly, I think a slower pace is generally more enjoyable with this game. But yeah.
Yeah, and I know I may have rushed this just a little bit. You've been gone so long, you want to relax just a bit. No rest for the wicked.
Tucker may also have a few reasons as well to rest, and also a few scenes he wants to do next time, which I'll write down on the sheet.
That's totally fair.
Do you need a new note card? You could just use the battle initiative to
yeah, just use like the battle initiative card if you need something super specific noted down that you may or may not remember by next week.
Let me just write a little thing.
I know depending on how things work next week, we might get to Ralph's thing, because I know Ralph wants to go to the Cave of Mirrors.
Yes. There'll be a very specific-ish fiat to that. So that could probably be worked out.
Yeah.
Okay, I wrote a few notes for Tucker. You guys feel free to use the initiative to write notes for yourself if you want.
Also, you all might not remember, but you have seen Poniards all over the continent where you've been.
No, that's just actually saying Tucker remembered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, like, to remind you as players, and I didn't say this earlier, I should have, but, like, you've seen singular Poniards just in places.
Mm-hmm. Including a proper encounter at one point. I think at the pond where we got Laddie. Is that area?
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
There's been at least, like, 2 or 3 other sightings of them, too.
Mm-hmm. Also, is anybody having trouble adding experience? And also, do I need to promote you guys to read at the notepad? I don't remember.
I don't think so. They should be able to just right-click and then in the description. Just make sure they don't overwrite yours.
Yeah, just make sure to just hit enter when you're writing on the description thing. If they do, it's fine. I could rewrite it. But yeah, I guess obviously... Sorry to make you have to make more notes, Car. It just seemed like a better flow to stop here.
It's quite alright. I understand. Part of my mode today has been, okay, there are certain things that do need to be sort of made more concise. And no, it is, like, Calvin being able to get you to Savantown in a day and a half is not just making things more concise. Calvin's just that quick.
Fair enough.
I did write Pingor a letter. Most of the adventures should be reported generally. Mostly the stuff with the gallantry was all that was left out, since it didn't happen yet at that point. Okay. I had forgotten about that. That's
yeah, the
right,
seamstress letter.
Right.
Letter for us.
I'm sorry.
Does that also mean he knows we're coming with the thing he has to pay for? I guess it probably would.
Right. Okay.
Which another reason.
Reminded.
That's another reason that we wanted to delay the scene, because there's a few detailed topics to talk about with some NPCs. So.
There are. Boy, my throat's gonna hurt after next time.
Another reason to stop here is to give your voice a break. Oh, have you been having more trouble with your voice lately? Because normally you just belt stuff out. You do really good, honestly.
I feel like I did fairly well this time. It's just
You
like
did.
my throat hurts a bit after all of that.
Oh, fair. You said specifically it's Sir Ricard's voice that does it for you, right?
Sir Ricade is a bit much.
Sir-Ricade.
Certain old man voices are difficult.
Yeah.
I know Pangoro's can be rough on me.
Yeah, I was using the initiative to write myself little pointers for next time.
Also, I am yawning fairly frequently, so I don't mind stopping.
Yeah, I think everybody's having a tired day.
Let's see. I'm looking up future moves there too. A classic combo from the games. Actually, I'm seeing how strong it is here.
Oh, thank you.
Special plus.
Can think of more
With
things
the
to Tucker needs
three
to do. actually.
flinch die. Oh, whoa, yo, that's really strong. So,
if this is the end, Eragon, did you want to do thing now or later?
Yeah, it's probably best to do it now.
Okay. So, have been talking to Eragon about this, and I let him know what my idea was for it. But as far as I am still currently aware, Eragon will be departing from the game. And how this is going to be handled is that Riley is going to end up staying at the base with Lizard, Laddie, and Poff. And if at any point in the future Eragon wants to return in, that gives a very easy and fluid way for Riley to return. And at least this way it's not like Riley falls off the face of the planet.
He's also not dead.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to kill him. He might have a death wish, but that's part of why I'm not letting him die.
Thanks.
Is the Tiber plotline going to be on pause then? Yes. Effectively, this does take Tiber out of the equation, but also, like, I didn't necessarily expect for Tiber to become such a helpful team member, if that makes sense. And also, like, Tiber's not integral to the main plotline progressing. He is tied to it, but, like, it's not necessary for it to progress, and it's not like, technically speaking, you couldn't interact with Tiber, but if there would be future interactions with Tiber, I would keep them as brief as possible, because that would require using Riley, and I would rather not use Riley terribly often except as approved NPC purposes, because I know Eragon would still like them to learn guitar and becoming a weaver and things like that.
Alright, well, I admit I expected this to be a bit more a discussion and not be announced today, but alright, I guess we'll adjust with that. I suppose I will attempt to get us another party member. I feel like 4 is still okay, but 3 is still okay, but, like, I don't know, I feel like that I did want to kind of plan out another person for the dynamic then in that case.
Is there anything you want to say, Eragon, or have I taken the spotlight?
I think you've covered the important bits. I enjoyed my time here for what it's worth.
I'm glad. That means
Don't leave the seat for too long, yeah?
What's that?
Don't leave the seat empty for too long.
I'll try not to. We'll see if we can fill a vacant slot later.
Well, No rush. At least to me, it doesn't seem like there ought to be a rush. And
You have a shopping episode coming up, so.
oh gosh, a shopping episode. At least I have 2 weeks to plan. But if you enjoyed your time here, that means I've done my job right.
Yeah.
And I'm glad. I really am.
Thank you for helping build the story to what it has become, Eragon.
Thank you for being a wonderful player. Really. And I know I've at least implied this, but if ever there comes a time when you want to return, you're welcome at my table.
Thank you, Kai. Yeah, I know where to find you.
Yep. I'm not far.
Yeah, my phone goes off every time you send me a message, so.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm the one who turned that on, so. Yeah.
Alright, well, I suppose, should I do my outro then?
I believe this would be a good time for an outro.
Okay. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed session 87. And again, next session will be in 2 weeks as usual. I hope to see you all then, and we'll see what the future holds, huh? Thanks for coming, guys. And I'll see you... Obviously, I'll see some of you for Friday, hopefully. We are continuing Elden Ring then, so hopefully see some of you then. But all the same, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for attending the game, and let's keep having a good game, shall we? In the future. Good night, guys.